All right. Good morning again, everybody. My name is Liz Garcia. I am founder of the Mind Body Spirit Network, and I help mind, body, spirit, health types of professionals and mindful companies with their online marketing efforts so that they can generate leads every day in their business. Like, why not? Why wait around? So today is open Q&A forum. I want you guys to ask any questions that you want on the topic of online marketing, building a business, whatever. Even, stuff that could be getting in your way. We got some super healers here that could test beliefs. It's like if there's a belief in your way, you might want to ask Linda to test it for you. So anyway, who would like to start? Barbara, have at it.
I think you should talk about Google Analytics.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Well,
just in general?
In the best sense, they tell you where you're starting. I mean, if you do analytics and you go, okay, right now we're looking at this many hits, we're looking at whatever. And then how useful is it after that based on the efforts that the campaigns that you plan, the email campaigns, all of your blogging, all that stuff.
Cool. Well, funny you should ask that today because I took a deeper dive into my Google Webmaster Tools and Analytics yesterday because I want to see what's going on with the Facebook ad campaigns I'm running for 4 different people right now. Linda's one of them. So Google Analytics, they've broken it up into 2 tools now. Google Analytics, which is telling you how much traffic is coming to your website on a daily basis. It's telling you where the traffic is coming from, like what are the demographics? What part of the world are they coming from? It tells you that. It tells you what kind of devices people are using to access your website, which is good to know if you're going to get into mobile marketing, for example. If you find a lot of people are coming in on a mobile device, you better be darn sure you got to fix that website for that purpose. It's going to tell you how long they're staying on a page, and it's going to tell you a bounce rate. And a bounce rate is saying how many people are coming in on a page and leaving on the same page, and how quickly are they doing it. And you want to know that because that's saying, how targeted are you? Oh, I mean, it's not saying so much because a lot of people could be coming in randomly, but if they're coming in to an internal page that they found through a Google search and the bounce rate is high, then you want to fix that page to keep people engaged. So it's telling you, it's a lot of work. It's helpful to have a marketing company behind you to do all of this. And I need one. Like as soon as I can, I'm going to hire a Google Analytics SEO person because that type of stuff drives me a little batty. But it's good information just to see what's going on in the website in general. And then they've kind of branched out into something called Google Webmaster Tools. And I dove into this yesterday, which was enlightening to me because I hadn't gone into it because I'm like, I don't want to try to, I like the analytics and everything it's telling me, but Google keeps changing the interface so I can't follow where everything is anymore. So I went into Google Webmaster Tools, and what I loved is that I can see exactly the keyword phrases people are using to find me. And it'll show me my top search phrases. And what I can do as a marketer is I can go in and make sure that top search phrase landing page that they're ending up on is optimized. Like make sure I've got calls to action in there. Make sure it's clear what's going on. There's a lot you can do to fix pages. And Google Analytics is also telling me specifically to these Facebook ad campaigns that I'm running, how many people are going to the page. So I have a particular page that I'm sending to, and Linda, I'll use you as an example. We're sending a Facebook ad to a blog post that Linda wrote on the Wheel of Life assessment and a video that we did about that topic. So all that content, Facebook ads are going there. It's showing me in Webmaster Tools, yes, people are showing up on this page, but better yet, it's showing me the click-through rate. It's saying how many people are clicking from that page, which I didn't know they were doing because I usually use a different tool. So I'm like, oh, this is good. So I'm looking at everyone else's pages too, and I noticed that one of my Facebook ad campaigns has a lower click. The others are about 6 to 7%, which is pretty good. I'm thinking I'd like better for sure. But that's what the tools are telling me. It's telling me what keyword phrases are people using to find you, where are they coming from? Like Google Analytics will say most of your traffic is coming from Facebook, for example. And I had a client who was she's a jewelry maker. And I looked at her Google Analytics, and she never looked at it, but she sells stuff on Etsy, and she does beautiful photography, so she shares it on Pinterest, which is a great place for beautifully photographed product to be. And when I went into Google Analytics, 40% of her traffic was coming from Pinterest, and she didn't even know it. I'm like, holy moly, woman, time to start running some Pinterest ads. You've got a live, it's like throwing shark bait into a piranha pit. So I'm like, we got to do some Pinterest ads. So that's the value of Google Analytics. And it's fun to you're not going to break anything if you go into your Google Analytics. You're just going to look around, and you're going to get to know what information they're telling you. So Barbara, it'll tell you, for Jason in particular, I'd take a look at keyword phrases that people are coming in on most for him. Like, where's most of his traffic coming, right?
Right.
And then write a blog, optimize a blog for that. Even if they're coming to a page now that's a blog, go and fine tune it, make sure there's calls to action or ability to, capture a lead. Yes. Take a peek inside his Google Analytics. And you do also have to make sure he set up a Google Webmaster tool. Is a different tool that they have, which is why, right. So you want to look at both. They're both good, and it's kind of fun, actually. I think it's entertaining. And if you're writing a lot, you want to see results and how you could make it better or whatever, and make sure people coming in. So,
Liz, I thought of two things while you were speaking.
Yes.
Number one, because I used to watch my Google Analytics on my sites prior to now.
Yep.
The homepage, people were going on and going right off.
Yeah.
So what I like about the network is it engages people because there's a lot to look at. That's still considered the home page.
Yeah.
And then you can click through to wherever you want to go from there. But it does keep I'm sure that I'll notice, especially on my new site, that people are staying there longer.
Yes. Because we're going to, the home page is always going to be the most visited page. It always is. Like by 80% of your traffic is coming through that home page. That's
we don't want them all just leaving and not going to another page.
Well, you know what? Don't worry about that. Bounce right on the home page, because you got a lot of people coming in that don't know you, right? And they may have not Googled. They may have come in just from a link,
right?
And then they don't know what they're coming there for, so that's why they leave. They're like, "Oh, this isn't what I thought it was," or whatever. So, it's the ones that they're coming in on a search is more interesting because they're more intentional.
Okay, and then I had one more question for you. I have lots of stuff on Pinterest, but I've changed my URL. This will be the third time now.
Okay.
So a lot of those don't go anywhere. Is it worth it to go back? You'll get a 404 page. So is it worth it to go back, especially on the ones I know that people do visit a lot, and just change the URLs, even though it may not pertain to the image, but it takes them to the website?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to do the same thing, Linda. I've changed the name of the network 3 times now, maybe 4.
Yeah.
I'm finally stuck. So I do have to go. I would go back and do pins that are super specific and drive them to the right page. Don't drive them to the home page. Drive them to the right page.
Right.
Like, so for you, your wheel assessment blog, I created an image on Pinterest, and SEO is important on Pinterest in a big way, just so you know. You definitely want to use your keyword phrases on Pinterest.
Okay, because Pinterest did drive lots of people to my site.
That's awesome. So use your keyword phrases on Pinterest in your title and your description and the boards that you create for them. Okay?
Yeah.
And then definitely when you're driving Pinterest stuff, I want you to drive it to the very specific page. Don't make them go through the home page to figure it out. Send them to the page that matters.
Okay.
And wait till your website's done to do that. All right. So let's clean up that yard first, and then you can go redirect everything.
Right.
Cool. But Pinterest, I love Pinterest. But now Pinterest images are quite, I get too involved in them because they need to be bigger and longer. That's these.
Oh, really?
But I think I've come up with a couple I'm testing for you that are simpler for me to make because I can't spend all that time designing infographics. It's a lot of work. But have you checked those out, the ones I made for you?
Yeah, I like them.
So we'll see how they do. I just posted, I think some are coming out today and tomorrow. And I actually, here's a good tip on Pinterest. I am a member of a group pinning board. And the group is called Personal Growth Motivation, something like that. And I'm pinning to that board because it's got tons of followers. So I want to see what comes to that for you guys. Be very interesting to see how that works, especially if I do my SEO properly, which I do.
I'll add one more thing. I don't want to take a long time.
No, it's okay.
I have to look for it, but I had some kind of a website that made it easy for you to make infographics. I don't remember what it's called. Have you seen them?
No, well, I don't use a website. I just buy templates that are easy to make infographics.
Okay. Because I found that pretty easy. So maybe people who don't know how to really do that kind of thing, that don't have the background in the graphics or that.
Well, I know
I'll locate it. I'll show it to you. If you like it, you can spread the word.
It's probably, is it canva.com?
I can't remember. I'll have to look through.
Okay, so everyone out there, canva.com and PicMonkey.com are both great online sources to create graphics relatively simply. And I bet you Canva.com has an infographic template that you would just modify with your colors and your images. I bet you $1 million to do, because I was checking that out a little while ago, and they have templates for Facebook images, Pinterest images, Twitter, because they all have their different format, and you got to stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's only 2 sizes now. A square is for Pinterest. Well, that's not true. Sorry. A square is for Instagram. Google Plus will take anything. It looks like Twitter will take anything now, too. Twitter used to just be like 440 by 220, but I'm seeing squares, and they're taking my squares. So I'm trying to save myself a lot of work and not have to create all these different size images. But Canva.com, PicMonkey.com, especially for you folks that want to share inspirational quotes, use Canva.com. You find a beautiful image, and they'll already have something ready to go, and you just type in your words. It's really nice. Okay.
Instagram, I just haven't been there. I'm on everything else.
I know.
I don't know why.
I know. Well, I know why I wasn't there. I finally got there this month.
Okay.
And I'm glad I did, because the images are a lot easier to make than Pinterest ones.
Okay.
They're quickies, So the obstacle to Instagram is that you've got to upload from a phone. That was my barrier to entry. I don't use my phone that much. I'm like, ugh. And you got to take pictures on phone. And like I'm a desktop user. I want to create images.
Yeah.
So the workaround for me on that is I use a software called Buffer, BUFFER.com.
Right.
It's like Hootsuite.
Right.
It's a platform for delivering social media posts to every platform. So, and I used to use Hootsuite, which I liked well enough, but I like Buffer even better because the user interface is easier for me and the analytics are killer. I love it. And they let me buffer to Instagram. So you still have to use your phone with Instagram. But what I do is I create a post to Instagram inside a Buffer, and then Buffer sends me a reminder on a phone app that you've got something to post now. So I'll get a little, ding dong coming from my phone that says, hey, it's time, reminder for Instagram. And then I go in and I see the reminder and I post it to Instagram. So it's a workaround. It's still coming from a phone.
Okay, but I get it, because that's probably my block right there.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That was my block.
Okay.
But you got to, for me, I got to use something like Buffer, because Instagram is supposed to be take a picture of where you are and send it right away. That's their deal. I don't look pretty enough all the time to do that. Or whatever, you know. So I like creating images, and a lot of people are creating desktop images. It's part of the deal.
A lot of people are using Instagram.
So I know a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that leads are like half the cost in Instagram, but Facebook isn't letting me, well, I'll have to try it again. Facebook wants us to try all platforms, and they'll optimize for the best platform. And so far, Instagram I have to go look closer, but it's not getting a lot of play there yet. But I'm going to see if I can do a workaround and just do direct to Instagram ads and see how that goes, because the cost per lead is apparently half, which is a good thing. And it's a new platform. That's why it's still not, you know, it's a new frontier, gang. Instagram marketing. Okay. Next, who's got a question? Michael, you said you had some questions.
Well, you actually partially answered mine. I was going to ask you about Buffer.
Oh, okay.
So that was where my question was.
Have you tried any of these tools yet, Michael?
No, that's why I was going to ask, is to see, you know, where to go.
Okay. There is a great, if you Google Buffer versus Hootsuite versus, there's another one, I can't think of it. But if you start to Google it, you know, Google will fill in Buffer versus Hootsuite versus blah, blah, blah. And they'll show you, someone did a nice article comparing them. And they all have different intentions. For me, in the short run, I like Buffer. It's just easier to use. In the long run, Hootsuite could be, if you're really into analytics and conversion and serious marketing, that would be, you know, they tell you the pros and cons of each one. For now, I want simple to use. I want a quick look at analytics. And I love the other thing about Buffer, which the other ones don't do, at least not since I went there last, is that I can have a post that gets tremendous response. And I have a few that are getting tremendous response. And I can do what's called rebuffering, meaning I can schedule that post to go out again. I don't have to do anything else. All I have to do is push a button and give it a date to repost. And I'm getting all this fantastic exposure. And those particular posts I'm thinking about, the first time they went out, they got like 300 clicks. And I didn't even have that many followers on my Twitter account. I only had like 90, but got 300 people clicked on it. And then I said, I'm going to rebuffer this one. So I did it again. So I've been doing it every week now, and it's easy work for me because I just push a button. I don't have to reinvent the wheel with copy and images. And all of those posts are like, they just keep doubling and tripling the response. So that's another thing about Buffer I like. The analytics, and Buffer also tells you the best time of day to post, and they set you up so that when you go in to do like a Facebook post, it say, here are the 4 best times a day for you to post, because they're measuring analytics as well, and they're understanding traffic and stuff. So it's a good, and it makes my life a lot easier.
When you're running multiple posts, then you can really tailor to what's working best.
Yes. And I'm seeing, yeah, definitely. And I'm seeing,
you look at what's not working and try to fix it.
Right. So I'm recognizing in my analytics, some images are standing out. And I'm like, what's going on with these images that's so unique, and what's going on with the copy? And I'm noticing that, you know, asking a question, have a compelling image that's related to it, and hitting someone's pain point is getting a lot of response, right? As opposed to general postings. General postings, like, I love to share my members, and I do, but it's not getting a lot of response. So the better approach for my members is to hit the pain point of one of the services that they provide, as opposed to, you know, I'm definitely going to share them just because I want them in the account. But then I've got to go deeper and really draw out an image and a simple pain point that we're addressing, and see what type of response we get for that. And so for you, Linda, in particular, I just noticed one was getting good response. And there's so many different images that I'm so surprised that are getting more response than others. Like that Pinocchio nose thing with the carrot on it.
Yeah.
That image.
Yeah.
That's people are responding to that. And so this image I picked for Linda is, I think the copy reads something like, "Are you stuck in a rut?" Because that's a lot of people are Googling, "I'm stuck." So the question is, are you stuck in a rut? And then I have this really unusual image of a Pinocchio nose with a carrot hanging off of it, and all of these people standing at the edge of a cliff jumping off. And that's getting response. Like, whoa, look at that.
You know what? I have to this thought keeps coming in. A big block I had was I didn't like pointing out pain points because I'm all about positivity.
Yeah.
But you have to.
Yeah.
But then you give them the solution, of course.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know if there's any other people in this realm, that are hooking up with you that may have had that experience. But I didn't like going there.
Right. So, well, some people don't know it until they hear it, though, too. Like, oh, that's what's going on with me. Like, stuck in a rut. I never thought about that, but that's what I am, right? Because you don't think in that terms. You're just like, you're thinking about the problem that won't go away, and it keeps recurring, and that's saying, you're stuck in a rut. You're like, oh, crap, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's like finding a belief you didn't know you had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's stuck in a rut, let me tell you. When you got those beliefs running that are blocking you at every turn, it's like, okay, let's fix that. All right. Michael, did we answer your questions on that?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Right, cool. Heather, you look eager to say something, but you're on mute.
Okay, I have lots of questions.
Oh, good.
Around Meetup. And so in general, I don't understand the relationship between my Meetup group and people who have signed in there and what I do with a Facebook page of a similar name. So it's supposed to be there to address the same people, but I'm not even sure what to do with it and how I would link information and where it's more advantageous to post information. And when I do get my Meetup people, like say half my Meetup registered Meetup people came to the Meetup last time, and I want to maybe get them all hooked with a tip or information about Airbnbs. But do I post it on the Meetup page, or is it advantageous to use the people's direct emails who came to the Meetup and registered, blah, 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 blah. So just so you have kind of a taste of some questions, and maybe you can take it and run with it in a way that would best serve everybody sitting here.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know what Meetup is, there's a website called meetup.com. And it's like I don't know if you'd call it, it's a clearinghouse, sort of. I don't want to call it a clearinghouse, but it's a community that helps people connect with like-minded communities. So in Denver, there's meetups for Little Dog Day in the park in Boulder. Literally, it's that specific. And I met someone walking down the street, walking their little dog, and I was walking my little dog. She's like, oh, why don't you join our Boulder Meetup group with little dogs in the park on Friday? I belong to 2 Meetup groups. They revolve around entrepreneurial women. One's called Daring Divas. The other one is called Wildly Successful Women. The Meetup is intended for networking and presentations, essentially, and getting, like what we're doing here. So Meetup, like Heather said, is recognizing when she created her group, and this is where that keyword research would come in handy, Heather. And they ask you to set up all those related keyword phrases, right? Categories, when you set up your Meetup group. Did you do that?
They did, and I did it wrong. I accidentally, I clicked set up the group before I had a chance to go through all of those categories.
Well, you can edit them.
Well, I didn't see where I could edit them, but Meetup did it themselves. Meetup then put in many categories that related to what I was doing.
Really?
So I guess they did it themselves.
Huh, that's interesting.
Is that weird?
I don't know.
Happen?
Maybe.
Sounds like an angel.
Unless there's
Yeah, right.
unless there's like keyword phrases in the description of what although it's a really short description, right? I remember I couldn't write too much.
Yeah,
Well,
there's not a lot in the description.
No.
I did send an email to the person that was supposed to help me set up, like an internal meetup person.
Yeah.
And I told them I wanted to change what was in there. And I never heard back from them. But then there was this list, so maybe they did it themselves.
Well, cool. So the beauty of Meetup is that they help connect you. So I'm a part of 2 meetups, and I get emails every day for new types of meetups that I might be interested in. So you don't have to do any marketing to get started. Eventually you're going to want to, which is what we're going to talk about next, but it's a super fantastic way to get started. And Michael, are you doing any meetup stuff in Texas that you're aware of?
I'm not personally. In fact, I was just listening because I'm just not aware of it.
Had you ever heard of Meetup?
I've heard of it, and that's about it.
Now, Kana, don't you use Meetup? Let me unmute you. Hold on. Oops.
I go to some meetups, but I'm not doing myself.
Okay, so you're aware of Meetup.
Yes,
And
I attend to some.
now, do you get emails saying, hey, you might be interested in these other meetups? Right?
Lots of them, so many.
Especially in New York City.
It's actually a little too much to my mailbox.
Yeah, I know. And Lynn?
So I'm curious. I have been part of meetups before, but it was when I was in Vermont. And I just came back to this valley here in Colorado. And you said you had some experience with Meetup here. So I'm not sure, do people here know Meetup or?
I have experience with Meetup in Denver.
Oh.
I'm in Golden now.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
But I know that people that have networking groups like Lori Rubenstein. Do you know Lori and her Down Valley Divas group?
No.
Anyway, she's not on Meetup, but I belonged to a networking group, and I said we should get on Meetup because there's a lot of transient people moving to Carbondale that would know about a Meetup and look for one.
Uh-huh.
So you would go on meetup.com, create your own group, and they will let everyone know in the valley that's in a Meetup that you created something.
Right. Well, that's what I thought. People here should really know what it is, right? I mean, I haven't been looking on it. I haven't gotten on it. Mine is still from Vermont, so I completely disconnected from it. So
okay,
I have to switch it.
Give it a try. I mean, just go and set up a Meetup account. I'm echoing for some reason. Sorry. Hold on. So go into Meetup and set up an account and act as if you want to join. Like start looking around for Meetups in Aspen and Carbondale and see what's there.
Right.
That'll tell you what's going on. All you have to do is put in where you live and see what happens.
Yeah. It was a little confused. I did it last week and it kept going back to Vermont. I couldn't get it to switch
maybe
to Carbondale.
Account.
So I maybe make up another name and do it.
Deborah, same with you.
Rainbow Health or something. I mean, I don't know. It didn't seem to want to switch to here.
Yeah, you might have to redo it. Or call Meetup and say, hey, can you clear my cache or whatever?
Right.
Whatever's going on there. Deborah, Are you familiar with Meetups in South Carolina?
I am familiar with them. I've never joined one.
Okay. Because I feel like that's a good thing for you.
Okay. I'll go look on that today.
Yeah, so just, see what types of meetups are going on in your area, and you'll get a feel. If there's a lot of stuff that's related to what you do, that's a good sign.
Okay, perfect.
Because they'll then in turn go on and publicize what you're doing to everyone else that's interested in what you do. But just I want everyone to pay attention. If you create a meetup, they're going to ask you who you want to attract. Like the ones I go to, I was going to do a meetup, a live one, and I ended up online, which I love. You can't create an online meetup through Meetup. It's all community in-person based stuff at the moment. So when I originally did that, I'm looking for women entrepreneurs. I'm looking for entrepreneurs in general, people that are in business, that want to learn online marketing. So I'd use all my keyword phrases in those categories of who you want to attract and be really, I think you can only do a dozen to 15. So decide what matters most to you and then use those phrases so that they're going to send out information in their emails to people that would be interested. And I do get multiple emails for the same group, just so you know, Heather, that it doesn't only happen once. I'll see it again and again, and then I'll, if I delete it, they might recognize that I'm deleting it and not send me those. But I think Meetup is pretty intelligent. They know they're responding to what people are responding to. Because of course, I get notices from meetups that I join. I always get those. So I'll see those. So any more questions on Meetup, and then I'm going to get to Heather's answer about how to tie them all together.
Well, I was going to say that I was on Meetup for a while.
Uh-huh.
I was offering paid groups. So I would hold meditation group, and I would also put on Meetup. And I had some people come in, but I didn't find it to be to work that well. But I wasn't using keywording.
Okay.
The other thing is, in this area in New York, there's like a gazillion of them.
Of meetups.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you get highly focused, though, and meditation may, for your area, could be too many of them. I don't know. I think, a different topic might work better for you.
Maybe I'll do like healing circles. I'll think about it.
Think about it. And I do want to say you can charge on Meetup too. You can charge to hold a meetup. Some people charge a flat fee. Like one I go to is $10 every time because she's got coffee at a hotel and it's a nice outing and I'm happy to contribute. Some are masterminds where you're charging more money. So you can charge for these meetups. They're not all free. And you can also ask for donation. Deborah, I know you like to have some people that have a donation basis too. So there's opportunity to charge for these. It's not all free. It doesn't have to be. And masterminds for sure are typically not free. You would contribute to those types of groups. And you want to keep out the riffraff.
Mm-hmm.
So, Heather, where do you communicate? That's what you're asking. What do you think I'm going to tell you?
Everywhere.
Yes.
And how
Let
would
me
you
tell you
move
how
it?
to do that.
Yeah.
First of all, everyone that's in your group, you can message individually, for sure. And you want to be sure after every group and before every group to put comments on the group page. I don't know if you've interacted a lot with Daring Diva's Meetup group. After a group, you make a comment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best place to get started. Get people interacting there. Call people out, send individual messages. Like instead of good to see you, click on that person's head so that you go to their message page and you talk to them specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And I would write a message like, so great to see you. I would do it to everyone since you're starting new. It was so great to see you at my first meetup. I've created a Facebook group for this and give them the link.
Okay, then I need to know what to do with the Facebook group because I'm really confused about that.
Okay, well, hold on. Did you start a group or a page yet?
I have the page, and then they told me that my page is deactivated because I haven't done anything with it.
Oh, well, maybe you can reactivate it.
I can. I don't know how yet, but
Okay.
I will.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Liz, can I add something?
Yeah.
When I don't know how to do something, I just Google it and I'll get a whole bunch of videos showing me step by step how to do it. And you can do that with Facebook. How do I even how do I change my name on my Facebook? I've done all those things.
Yeah.
It's a great resource.
Cool.
Thanks, Linda. That's great.
Yeah.
So, Heather, I think a good place to start is reactivate the page and don't worry about it yet. I'm going to give you some simple steps. And create that Airbnb group with those Airbnb hosts Boulder, right? Was that our keyword phrase?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I want the name of that group to be that.
Yes.
And all you're going to do is you're going to put a profile picture in of you because you're the host. You're hosting that group.
Okay.
And then I want you to put a picture that would represent Airbnbs. And maybe you break it up into like 4 different types of pictures. And you could go to Airbnb and use some of their images by screen grabbing it. Or do you know how to download an image off of someone's website?
My daughter or son might.
Okay.
I have teens.
Okay, so yes, you do. Airbnb has fantastic pictures of different types of Airbnbs. I would go grab 4 of them and make a collage out of it. So that top header cover image for your group that you get to create shows Airbnb, right? Have your kids.
Okay. I have made a header page on my Facebook.
Okay, good.
But it's a Boulder thing. It's like, this is what you get when you come to Boulder, and it's a gorgeous picture of a trail.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
Oh.
So in the group, I want it to be related to Airbnbs.
Yeah.
So it's an interior and you see people walking in or whatever. So you get the feel for what it is for that header image. And then you're just going to upload a picture of a link to the Facebook group. And just start with a couple of posts. And don't worry that nobody's going to see it. It's okay. You just want a little bit of content. So you're going to find a picture of your Airbnb. You're going to take a picture of it.
Okay.
And you're going to upload it. And you can say, here's my Airbnb.
Oh, should I put in like have people put in their Airbnbs?
Yes.
I would like to say anyone who wants, upload a picture of your Airbnb.
Perfect. Share your Airbnb with a link to your rental page. Definitely. That's a great way to start. Let other people do the work, Heather.
That's great.
That's a great place to start. So you're going to start with, how many rentals do you have for Airbnb?
Just mine, just my house.
Okay.
That's in Boulder, at least in the city of Boulder, you have to be the primary residence of your Airbnb.
Right. Okay.
So.
All right. So that's what you're going to do on that Facebook group. Super simple. But then you need to go into your Meetup group, click on everyone's face individually, and you're going to write one message that you'll copy and paste, so it's easy. And then you can personalize that message if you remember somebody or you connected with someone specifically. And then you're going to say, hey, thanks for coming to the Airbnb Meetup. I'm excited for what it will bring. And if you want to stick together, if you want to stay connected outside of the Meetup, here's my Facebook group, and I want you to go upload a picture of your Airbnb. Tell them what to do. But what they're going to have to do first, Heather, is they're going to have to ask to join. So you're going to say, here's my Airbnb Facebook group. And I'm going to record this, Heather, so you don't have to write this down.
I know, I'm getting.
Just so you know. So you're going to say, thank you for coming to my first Airbnb Meetup group. I'd love for us to stay connected in between meetings on my Airbnb Boulder Facebook group. Go to here, ask to join, and then after I accept you, I want you to upload a picture of your Airbnb. And then share your link to your Airbnb page to rent it. That's a great start. Okay?
Awesome.
That's all you have to do.
That's great too for me, Liz, because I could go on their pages and see things that I think I could help them with. And then I could message them personally and say, hey, would you like help writing your write-up for it or your
perfect.
Whatever.
Yes. Okay, yes. Also, did you ask people for email addresses?
Yes, I have everyone's email address.
Perfect. I want you to do the same thing in an email. You're going to say, thank you for coming from my Airbnb. Let's stay connected through an Airbnb Boulder Facebook group. Here's the link to join. Just say you got to ask to join and I'll accept you. But then after you're accepted, I want you to upload a picture of your Airbnb with a link to your property.
Okay.
So people can rent it. So you're doing the same thing everywhere.
So people can go on the Boulder Host Airbnb Facebook group like the public can?
No, they have to ask to be on it.
Oh, okay, got it, right. Okay.
So they're going to come in, it's going to say, there's different settings you can have for a group. Some can be private in that they can't find you at all. I want people to be able to find you. So you can keep it public so they can find you, but then they still have to ask to join. Like, make people ask to join, and there may be a setting where they don't have to ask to join, which don't do that. Just try to put some restrictions on it. You got to keep it clean. All right? So you're going to do the same type of, this is a great first step. So take it, everything you're doing, you're just going to send an email, you're going to connect, and then if you set up a MailChimp, you could set up a campaign every month, 2 days before the meetup, or as a reminder. That's what you'll do every month to your meetup group. And you'll do it inside of Meetup too, because Meetup will automatically do it. But I want you to do it outside of Meetup. I want you to do it through email so people get used to seeing their email, because not everyone responds to Meetup. They, in fact, shut it off, right? So you're going to send an email at the same time every month, and inside of MailChimp, you can create a campaign template where you just grab the template and change the date. So it's an easy thing to do. And then on the Facebook group, you would put up an image of Meetup and say, hey, our next Meetup group is this date at this place. And you'll do the same communication to all 3 places every month. And then after a Meetup group is a good time to send an email and an update on Facebook to ask people to do something else, like ask a question. Email. What problems, share your experience.
Burning topic.
You come up with the topic, Heather, and drive that conversation, and then bring it to the Facebook group too. But let people respond in email. And then if they don't go to Facebook, you can just go to Facebook group and say, hey, I got a great response on this question from Joe P from Boulder. You don't have to give them their name. But it just, makes it engaging. And what I would do for that, Heather, is every month I'd have an image with the question on the image that you upload and invite people to answer the question in the group. Are you following that?
Yep, on both Facebook and Meetup.
Yep.
It would go to both places because some people won't go to their Meetup.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's say you do 2 or 3 communications a month. One's going to be telling people about the Meetup. The other one is going to be a follow-up to the Meetup, just to kind of recap what went on. A third one can be ask a question. So that would be a good strat. And you could ask a question twice a month. So twice a month you send out an email, and you could even do a survey once a month. Could be interesting too.
Okay, and I've done everything you said just on Meetup so far.
Okay.
Just, the before, the after, the question. I have 4 polls on Meetup right now. But some of them are just logistics, like what night of the week and who you want to meet and stuff like that. But trying to get people interested and engaged and understand that this is their group.
Yeah.
So they feel ownership.
Okay. So don't worry about your Facebook page right now. I mean, you can try to reactivate it. The group is more important.
Sorry.
So I want you to go get that domain, please. Set up that group with that Airbnb Boulder host, whatever it was. Whatever that's make sure that combination is right based on the report. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Is it Airbnb Boulder host, or is it Airbnb host Boulder? Whatever is going to have the higher search volume, go with that.
Okay.
All right. Who has another question? And do we answer all your questions there, Heather?
I'll just take a quick look.
Okay.
And
it's 10:07. I said we were going to end at 10 today, but I'm having fun.
No, you really did a great job. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else have questions, or do you all want to go and start your day? I'm happy to answer questions, though. Whoa, Stephanie. Look at that. We almost got video on her. We're trying to beam her down from Mars. It's a little hard connection today. Linda, how about you? You got any questions about what we're doing, or?
Well, my question is, where do you put, where is the best attention put, or just keep doing both between Facebook, my Facebook business page, and I created a Facebook group. And my page has a lot of followers.
What does your page?
My business page on Google. There's like 26,000 there.
What do you mean?
I don't want to let it go, but I think you were recommending to have a group where people can interact more.
Yeah. You have both. You got to have both now that you're this far into it.
Okay.
But the group is more for interaction, and
because it doesn't matter how many followers I have, because barely any of them are seeing anything.
Exactly. It's kind of like, I mean, it has, I don't know about the Facebook pages anymore. You got to pay to play there. So The group is better because you still have to get people to interact, though. If they don't interact, it's not going to show up in anyone's feed. It's got to be a really engaged group, and you got to lead the engagement.
Okay.
Even on mine, I don't know that I'm not getting a lot of interaction except for people that come to this thing, which is okay. But I don't have time to keep up with it either at the moment.
Right.
So it's just kind of there. But Heather, you should definitely give time to this because this is a good venue for you. Anyway, so there's a group strategy, and it's just really, the bottom line is you're getting in front of people and you're being present and they're getting to know you, and that's enough. That's like the king combo is when people get to know you. Otherwise, a picture, on a Facebook ad is a start, but they got to hear the voice and, get to know you. But now that they know you, Heather, email and Facebook group will be more effective, especially if you got to drive the engagement though with questions. And on Facebook, you can call people out, meaning, how I call you out, right? Mm-hmm. So I said something about you. Mm-hmm. So after every meeting, I say, I want to thank everybody for coming, and you guys get a message that says, hey, Liz said something about you. That's right. That's how you drive engagement. Call people out. So when someone shares their Airbnb, like let's say it's Susie Q, you say, hey, Susie Q, I love your Airbnb in Boulder. I love what you did with this. Make a comment.
Okay.
Call people out, especially once they join the meetup, call them out and say, hey, Susie Q, thanks for joining the meetup. I can't wait to see you at our next meetup group. Or maybe someone you don't know. You respond to them, hey, Joe, glad to see you joined our meetup group. We joined our Facebook group. Check out our meetup group, and you send a link to the meetup group page so they can say, yes, I want to be a part of that. So you got to call people out. And I need to do that. I've got a lot of members of that Facebook page now. I haven't called any of them out except for the ones I know. But that's okay because I'm busy enough as it is right now.
Right.
So groups are good. Meetups and groups are energetically aligning you with your own knowingness and confidence again in a bigger way. Mm-hmm. Totally. I feel that immediately with me when I decided to step it up. It's like, and I have a lot of confidence in what I do because I'm just like, I just know this stuff, and you guys know your stuff. Mm-hmm. You start speaking it, this energetic thing is going on, right, Linda?
Yes.
There's like that third chakra of empowerment. Those 3 lower chakras are starting to feel rooted and part of this earth and part of, everything that's going on. And that energetically is important. For me, absolutely. Because I've been a lone wolf for too long. And it doesn't really suit me. So that's it. Voila. Any other questions? Or is everyone good?
Good.
Kana, did you have a question? You're on mute though. Hold on, unmute. There you go. Now you're good. Oh.
Could you touch on Google Plus?
Google Plus. I don't know Google Plus so much. I have an account. I don't spend a lot of time there because I'm getting a lot of more activity on Twitter, which is funny because I'm not a fan of Twitter, but who am I to say? People are responding on Twitter, which is awesome. Google Plus, when you start doing posting, I just kind of share all of my posts can be duplicates from Facebook. And for now, that's what I'm doing and keeping it simple and just populating that area. And it's interesting. It's a different user set, it seems, because in Buffer, it's telling me I have to post like at 6 in the morning or late at night, which is interesting. I'm like, this must be work people on Google Plus, different audience. Because on Facebook, I can post 6 times throughout the day. And on Google Plus, the posting is like, you got to do it at 6 in the morning and late at night. So I haven't really explored Google Plus fully yet, but I have an account. And I don't know how to engage followers yet. And I don't know if I have any. I think I do, but I'm counting on SEO to help me there because
yeah, me too.
And YouTube connects directly to Google Plus. So every time I upload a video, it automatically goes to Google Plus. So I'm like, oh, good. Some of my work is taken care of. So
does Facebook if you set it up that way. Facebook will go to Google Plus and Twitter. Mine does.
Yeah, I know. The problem with that is there's too much double and triple posting going on. So if I go into my Twitter account, my videos are being triple uploaded. I'm like, I don't want this. It's not the way. So I'm disconnecting those for now. Because on Buffer, you really want to speak to each audience individually, and that's what I'm doing. Plus, they have different posting times, too. So,
yeah, well, you don't need to do it on Facebook if you're doing it on Buffer.
Right. Yeah. So, but yes, you can tie them all together, but you got to watch your tracks because you could end up triple posting, which I'm doing right now on Twitter. It's because it's picking up, here's what's happening. YouTube is automatically posting to Twitter and Google Plus for me. And I suspect that Google Plus, when it gets a post, is automatically Twittering. So now I'm getting, I've got to break the chain somewhere because there's too much going on. So it's got to be one follows the other. You can't do it. You decide on one platform that posts to everything, and you make sure the other platforms aren't posting also. That's what I'm not doing properly.
I have a Twitter question, though. Because for Twitter, it doesn't really matter. Google Plus, you don't want to see the same thing over and over when you go to a page. But Twitter is so random. People don't really go to pages. It just posts for that minute, and then it's gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Except for, in my case, it was posting those videos all at once. So I have 3 links to a Twitter video, to YouTube video. So that I got to fix that. But yes, Twitter doesn't matter because I can post on Twitter like 7 times a day. That's why I'm reposting all these things because it's got to be in your feed.
Right.
Or on a search. People are searching too. And people I'm pretty sure can say, I want to see any hashtags related to online marketing because I get a lot of followers when I post a marketing video. And I'm like, whoa, where's this coming from? So I suspect that's what's going on. People are flagging hashtags they want to follow.
Yeah.
So I don't really want online marketing followers on Twitter, though, because I want to be Mind Body Spirit on that particular account. So I'd have to set up a new account to deal with that. But I'm not doing that today.
So then for all of these different platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook that you're talking about, do you set up the accounts in the name of your company or your personal?
You can do both. I would, it's up to you. You can absolutely set up a company account for all of those.
Okay.
And I can't keep up with the rules. They're always changing. On Facebook now, you can set up an account without having a personal page, I think. I don't know. You might have to you still have to be tied to a personal page, I think, on Facebook. But they'll take you through the steps. You say, I want to start a business page on Facebook. Just Google it, and they'll bring you right to it, and you get started.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Liz?
Yeah.
Liz, I have one last question for you.
Sure.
I was thinking as a follow-up to a meeting, I had handed out a list of regulations in the city of Boulder.
Uh-huh.
Should I post that?
Yeah.
On Meetup and Facebook?
Yep. And in an email. You can have it as an attachment.
Okay. And then in the future, I could do either information about what we talked about in the meeting to entice other people to come.
Yep.
Like if you missed this week's meeting, this is what we talked about. Come to the next one and have more discussion, blah, blah, blah.
So you know how Daring Divas has a spotlight, you know, that you go to the page and you find out what the spotlight is about?
Mm-hmm.
You could do the same thing where you have a topic and kind of think it through, or you have a speaker, you bring in other speakers. That's the opportunity when you set up that event to go and customize it for what the topic will be to entice people to come.
Okay.
So that's where you would use that opportunity. So that's a good idea to have a topic or a speaker at some of those meetups, even if you're the speaker.
Right. And I do and I will. I do and I will.
Cool.
And then lastly, what about linking to, when I have it, my webpage with my blog and things like that? Will I be doing that then? So when we set up the one-page web site?
Yeah. And in fact, you can have your own domain name for that. We did this with Deborah. She has gratefulomelife.com as her domain, and I told it to go to her page in the network so that you don't have to have this long-winded URL from the Mind Body Spirit Network. You have your own domain, whatever you want to call it, and I'll point it to that page, and then you'll share it everywhere, that link, when you want to share it. And then eventually, if you get a new website, then we just repoint the domain. But for now, did I answer that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not quite there yet, so I don't. I'll get it when we get there.
Okay. So if you write a blog for the network, which we totally hope that you will do, it will help you. You'll have a link to it that you can share. And you can say, I just wrote about regulations in Boulder for Airbnbs. You write it. That's a great blog post. Just share them. In fact, that's a better strategy, is to write the blog, have it on a domain somewhere, have it on the website somewhere. You just share the link.
So they have to go.
And then they'll have to look around and see you and go, right.
Yeah.
And we'll have a call to action on that blog that says, you need an Airbnb stylist like now. Call Heather, whatever it is, we're going to remind them what you do. Drive them to your page, and we need some type of lead magnet for you would be good too. And a simple lead magnet could be join my Airbnb group, Meetup Group, or Facebook page. That could be a starter. Simple as that. Cool. Yeah. We're going to share everything that you do in many ways. All right. Anyone else?
All right.
Good to go. All right. I had too much coffee. I've got to run. Deborah, have a great time in Hilton Head, woman.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Me too.
Exciting. And Linda, you good to go? Or
I'm good to go.
All right, honey. We'll be in touch by email.
Yeah.
I'm cooking up some new ideas for you this morning because I want to try something else too. Although you got 6 leads. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. It's only week 1.
Are those are the ones who actually confirmed opt-in?
Yes.
There's a bunch that didn't, so I'm thinking of taking off the confirmed opt-in.
Okay. We don't want them to take them that far and then they leave.
Yeah, I can make an email with the thank you page.
No, I still want that thank you page though, because I want people to have an opportunity to schedule time with you.
I can do that in email too. I can put the video there and the link,
Yeah, but that redirect is more impactful.
Okay, we'll have to talk about this when we have more time, because the redirect won't be there if I take off the confirmed opt-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to switch it up.
We'll figure that out.
I think there's too many steps going on there. All right, gang. Good to see everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Everybody. Love you all.
Yeah. Ditto.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.